The Saint Lucia Social Development Fund presents Sons and Daughters of Saint Lucia, the Land, the People. Today's program highlights Euralis Bouty's growth and her contribution to Saint Lucia. April 19, 1907. Euralis Ethel Therese Bouty is 2 years old and the coal carriers in Saint Lucia call an historic strike. When the strike is over, 7 people were left dead and another 37 wounded. The estimated direct cost of the riot was £1,300. By 1911, the coaling industry had peaked, and by 1929, Port Castries was left virtually destitute. By 1942, the coal transshipment industry had all but disappeared. This is the time that Miss Bouty comes from, a time when people paid 2 cents for a basket of coal, wages were from 6 pence to 1 shilling or 12 cents to 24 cents a day. This was a time when a pound of steak cost 6 pence or 12 cents, and a pound of tuna cost 2 pence or 4 cents. A bucket of flying fish cost a penny. A bottle of whiskey cost 3 shillings and 6 pence, less than $1 or 84 cents, and people who worked as servants earned $2.40 or 10 shillings a month. Miss Bouty was born on Brazil Street in Castries, one of 2 daughters to Mr. and Mrs. Euralis Bouty. She was fortunate enough to have been one of the 90-odd students who attended the St. Joseph's Convent, which at that time comprised a kindergarten, preparatory school for boys and girls, a day school and a boarding school. Miss Bouty would have been among the crop of people who lived through the First and Second World Wars. This was a time of deep introspection for St. Lucians who were committed to nation building. Coming out of and bearing the scars of the wars and the 1948 fire, many were trying to define who they were and how they would build a country that their children would be proud of. For many people, this definition took root in art and cultural expression. In her time, it was the oral tradition, the folklore and cultural practices that defined many. Perhaps this is where her love for the carnival developed. She was one of the pioneers of carnival which, prior to the 1948 fire, was run as a private festivity. In those days, carnival was a kiddies' show and was celebrated as a pre-Lenten event. Miss Bouty contributed to nation building as a social worker, an educator, a civil servant and a sportswoman. She was the first female president of the Carnival Development Committee. She served as member and president of the Girls Physical Culture Club, an organization that was set up to advance sport and culture. She served as member and president of the Caribbean Netball Association and was manager of the first West Indies netball team. She contributed to the development of young girls and women through the Saint Lucia Girl Guides movement, the Saint Lucia Women's Association and the Business and Professional Women's Club. Shortly after her death in 1986, the now deceased Honorable Romanus Lancico, then Minister of Community Development, Social Affairs, Youth and Sports, named the VG Sports Complex the Euralis Bouty Sports Complex in her honor. But that's all we have time for today. Join us next time for another in the series of Sons and Daughters of Saint Lucia, a program designed to highlight various aspects of the lives of people who assisted in the development of our island, Saint Lucia.